What's up, everybody? This is Frederick Douglass Bussey. Today, we're going to be talking about the biggest mistake that brands make when they are marketing and trying to reach an audience. It's Frederick Douglass Bussey. Another whiteboard session is on the way. Let's go to work. What I see over and over again when I'm having conversations with clients, when I'm looking at the marketplace and the landscape of advertising, marketing, entrepreneurs, etc., I see people making this mistake over and over and over again. They make it in their sales process. They make it in their marketing and advertising, even make it in their customer journey, if you will, or how they're delivering and executing on their products. They also make it even in the leadership and in how they're running their companies and how they're delegating and managing tasks with their employees and things of that nature. We're going to phrase it in terms of marketing because I think it's easier to split here, but it actually could be even more wide scale. And so I want to share with you a couple thoughts about that. First of all, let's check the mic, make sure you can hear us. Give me a thumbs up in the comments. Let me know that you can hear this and everything's working okay. If you have a question about anything we're talking about, feel free to drop that in the comments as well. LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, etc. All right. Today we're going to talk about the biggest mistake that marketers are making. And in that, so in our Scalosity method, we talk about three things as a framework for being able to create more momentum in your business. When you have a business that is gaining momentum, success becomes inevitable, right? Because as long as you're able to move forward at a predictable pace, you can see where you're going. You have the ability to continue to make changes, to innovate, to scale, whatever the case may be, you're going to grow. You're going to get bigger and you're going to be able to do that faster and faster. Momentum is the key. When you're stuck, you're stalled, you're not able to keep moving forward. Momentum comes from three basic places, right? So it comes from mindset, how you're thinking about the problems that you have to solve and executing on those things. It comes from influence, your ability to be able to garner more customers, to build your team, to be able to grow and get more clients in the door. And it comes from leverage, right? Leverage is simply your ability to create a system that can make this predictable, repeatable, so you can continue to scale it at size, makes you more efficient, and it makes you more profitable in the end, right? So these three things are the things that actually create momentum. Now, out of that and influence, one of those elements is marketing. You see that on the bottom of the screen, marketing. And marketing is simply helping people to understand what it is that you're selling them. It's influence. It's helping people to understand why they need what you want, what you have to offer them. The biggest problem that people reach, though, is that when they think about marketing, they're thinking about how they're going to tell people about what they have, their product or their service. I say this over and over again. People are always trying to grasp that concept. And I like to put it in three boxes, basically, right? And it really comes down to D, P, and B. Now, this is a very stripped down model of what we teach. There's actually 5 elements to this, but I think we're going to make the point very simply with these 3. And when we actually break it out, we can get a little bit more intricate into it. But these whiteboard sessions, we only got a few minutes, so I'm going to do it here. And what I used to call this is the story graphics, right? Because here we have the demographics, and we have what's known as behavior graphics. All right, tracking so far? Good. Now here, behavior demographics is what most people focus on. They focus on age, right? Location, gender, maybe politics, right? But things like that. They focus on the general. So they say we serve white males between the age of 45 and 65 who live in the southern United States or in United Kingdom or whatever the case may be. That's how they tend to generally focus. And so they are throwing all their darts generally here. This is where 90% of marketers focus. All right. They focus on the demographics. And when we talk about getting your core audience, your niche down, whatever the case may be, this is where they tend to hang out right here. If you get to the next level, most of them, the other 8% of the 10%, will actually take the next step and they'll skip over here to the behavior graphics. How do people behave? Where are they shopping? What kind of websites do they visit? What kind of magazines? What kind of TV shows or movies do they watch? They focus at how they spend their money, how they behave in general in terms of the things that they care about with their market, right? Where are they? What conferences are they going to? Who do they listen to? What kind of content do they consume online, etc. So that becomes how they behave. The part that most people skip, however, is this one, P. And it is essentially the most important part, although there are two other parts that we are starting to break down in what we talk about when we're working with our clients, right? And that's a deeper lesson. But if you understand this piece right here, it will put you in the top 1%, 2% of brands who are able to market to their audience and understand them very, very clearly. And here's why. Because the P is actually silent, but it stands for psychographics. And it doesn't mean that it's the story of crazy people. It doesn't mean crazy pictures. Psychographics stands for their values and beliefs. And why this is so important is because most people don't want to hang out here. They skip over this completely, right? And so they go straight to behavior graphics if they ever get there. Most people linger here because they think that's the level they need to do. But the most important piece is to understand that demographics is one descriptor. Behavior graphics, however, is an outcome of their psychographics. In other words, people act the way that they do because they believe certain things. If you don't understand what people believe, if you don't understand what they value, you do not understand why they're doing what they're doing. And so you can be talking to their behavior, but not able to influence their behavior because you don't understand where it really comes from. And being able to do that in a way that stands out from everyone else, from all the other people that are yelling and shouting at them, is super important. And the only way you can do that is to do what Dan Kennedy loves to talk about, which is get inside their head, get inside the conversation that's going on inside their head. And if you can understand how to do that, it will drastically shift and transform everything you're doing. It's simply the biggest mistake that people are making, which is just skipping this one step. If you don't skip this step, if you understand how to listen, and you hear people talk about, add value, add value, add value, make your content valuable, make your marketing valuable, make your product more valuable, add more valuable to the customer or to the client. You can't do that if you don't understand this key piece. And when you are building a business, there are so many micro slices of segments, so many micro demographics that you can get into, right? And when you think about it, I have clients that you say, well, we target people between 35 and 65. And it's like, that's like 20 different demographics in and of itself, because a 25-year-old is nowhere near where a 30-year-old is. Because once you get to 30, you look at life differently than you did when you're 25. When you're 25, 30 seems like it's 20 years away. You're never going to be 30, right? I remember when I was in college, I looked at the guys who were just graduated or who were in grad school and they were around 27, 28. I looked at them as ancient, right? I'll never be that old. And then I'm that old and I'm older, and it seems like a completely different lifestyle, right? Because there are things that you value at that age that you simply don't value when you're later on. So the more you dive into that, the more you understand it, the more you start to break apart and understand who your people really are. And then you'll start to understand, how do I craft a story graphic that really genuinely reaches down into where they are, grabs them by the collar and says, hey, this is for you. This is what you need to be able to grow and to change your life, to be able to live your dreams, to be able to do the things that you want to be able to do. This is what that means, right? So drop a comment in the comments below. Let me know if this is resonating for you. If you have any questions, you're watching this on replay, drop a hashtag replay and let me know how that pops for you. The reason why we want to focus on understanding all of this, and then the other two hidden elements of it that take us even deeper, is because when you can craft this, you can make your organic marketing so much more powerful. It will pop off of the page, off of the screen when they're scrolling through their timeline, when they're watching something in video. It will absolutely detonate your marketing and take it to a completely different level, because you are speaking a language that no other people, no one else is even talking to them in that way, right? And so that makes you unique. It makes you different. It makes your marketing pop. And when you are in a sales process, when you are marketing, when you are leading your company, your people are going to be able to hear you and reach that even further. Carrie, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate the comment. Um, if this is valuable for you, then just let me know what your thoughts are, what you're discovering from this whole expedition into the story graphics framework and the framework model. Remember, that's part of our scalosity model, part of the second pillar of influence, to help you to be able to understand how you can grow deeper and be more impactful with your marketing, etc. If there's anything else we can help you with, if you're struggling with understanding how you can get more momentum in your business, if you're struggling with understanding how you can make a shift, a key shift to be able to make the end of the year or the next year even better than you ever thought possible, give us a call, reach out, drop a comment, send us a message, share this with someone that you find is extremely valuable for them as well. Yeah, Darian dropped a comment. I'll drop this on the scene right here. Every year you grow in your age, your pain and problems change. So yes, got to be more specific in demographic targeting. Yes. And the thing is, because if you stay here and only linger in the demographics and you don't understand how that affects your psychographics, right? Because when you change in age, just having a birthday shifts your values, right? And so the things you used to value, you don't value anymore. So if you're not super specific with that age range, you may be marketing to a 29-year-old, and and when they turn 30, it doesn't work for them anymore, right? When you go from 39 to 40, things shift for you. When you go from 49 to 50, and that's just 1 year, in fact, 1 day. And the ability to be able to tell multiple stories to multiple people because you understand where they are and what they're doing is super, super important. So hopefully it's been valuable for you. Already taken more time than I thought we would to dive into this. I love talking about this topic, especially because I've been finding that over the past 6 months to a year or so, it's really, really been starting to unlock some things for people, and they're just having these aha moments, these epiphanies or whatever, and it's really helping them to take off. It's unlocking people when it comes to being able to create more content, to make their products better, because they're actually able to serve people in a more nuanced and impactful way. All right. So with all of that said, we are done for today. If you're watching this on YouTube, or make sure you give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share this with somebody that you think would be valuable for them. If you're watching this on LinkedIn or Facebook, do the same. Make sure you follow us, drop a comment below, because we love to get your feedback and know what resonates for you in the way that it does. Also be aware that if you're watching this before December 6, 2022, we are launching the $1 Million Year event. It is a special 90-minute workshop, webinar, masterclass series where it's not a series, it's going to be one-off because we're just doing the 1 day. But in 90 minutes, we're going to talk about how you can create the blueprint for building your 7-figure business over the next 12 months. If you're not already doing that, I guarantee it's going to be valuable. It's going to be given at an incredible rate, an investment which is no cost to you other than the 90 minutes of your time. If you do not have the time to invest in this, understanding how you're building this blueprint, then maybe you don't have time to build a business. Because if you're slipping and sliding and you're not getting the momentum that you want, you're growing too slowly, you feel like you're stuck, you feel like there's more potential out there to create more impact in your business, even if you're already doing seven figures and you don't have the blueprint. If you're doing 100K a month and maybe things feel like they're humming, but maybe they've been stuck for a while or you've seen your revenue dipping, then you may need to examine your own blueprint for building your business. The $1 million year is going to be something that's extremely valuable. I am excited about it and can't wait to be able to share what we're talking about that day. With that being said, I'm Frederick Douglass Bessie. I got to get out of here. Ever forward.